Greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome back to another throwback video here, going back to the 70s again. Earlier in the 70s than we did for my previous 70s video, which is for the Sentinel, a few weeks back. Not many people saw it, but I will link to that one at the end. For this one, we're going all the way back to 1971 for the Abominable Dr. Phibes, starring Vincent Price. Now, I had wanted to check out some more Vincent Price works, especially for the channel, as it's been a while since I covered any here, and especially to work in some more of the AIP-produced films. You know, going in, I thought I'd seen this one at some point, but none of it rang a bell, so it was very new to me. And the synopsis for this one is as follows. Doctor, scientist, organist, and biblical scholar Anton Phibes seeks revenge on the 9 doctors he considers responsible for the death of his wife. So we get a story of revenge here from Phibes, who holds these doctors responsible, which, since there are 9 of them, we get several methods taken as he tries to take all these people out, of which these methods are based on plagues of the Bible, such as blood, having the blood drained from somebody's body, frogs. They had like this frog mask used to kill somebody. Gnats, where in this case it kind of replaced it with bats, but it was still an interesting way to kill somebody. We also had boils by the way of bee stings causing that. We had hailstorms by like a machine that's freezing somebody. Locusts, death of the firstborn son, livestock, flies, darkness, creepy stuff, but very interesting stuff as well. As you know, how all these deaths are carried out. And it only really takes a few for law enforcement to catch on that there's some sort of pattern and start working the case, trying to determine who the next victim is and how to keep them safe, having eventually suspected this Dr. Phibes, who all of these doctors had an association with in the past. You know, they investigate each step and slowly are working their way through this mystery, but don't know exactly which victim will be next or by what method. But what stuck out to me most after the fact, thinking back on this, is how similar some aspects kind of reminded me of Saw. You know, at least the first Saw film. I've only seen the first 3 of that. I still have a boxed set to go through. But, you know, somebody getting revenge and has these interesting ways of taking people out, but instead of puzzles, just leaning into the methods themselves, the biblical. It's a very loose similarity, but one that I kind of had thought about while thinking back on this one. And it really makes things interesting, because what we have here is we have this nice fright factor about the fact that you can't reason with Dr. Phibes. You know, even if you caught up to him and tried to stop him, he's hell-bent on revenge, and by any means, especially if it's very theatrical and elaborate and following something that he'd studied from the Bible. So, you know, I like the path that this film takes. You know, there's almost no dialogue for a good portion of the beginning, about 10 minutes. Almost no dialogue for Price at all, because his character has something wrong with his throat, and so he has to use like this electronic box to kind of speak for him. We don't even hear that until much later on, and then that voice is eerily creepy as well. But also, as we start out, you know, we don't really get the explanation for those first few kills, or those, just all that we know is that it's a weird situation. So we're kind of as clueless initially as the police are until they kind of discover these patterns. But, you know, it opens up more and more as we see those patterns to the connection to the biblical plagues, pinpointing this doctor as a likely culprit, even though he's supposedly dead, which they need to investigate. Where's his body if he's supposed to be dead? But where this one also shined for me, besides it being interesting because of the mystery factor to it, was the overall style that it really shined in this 1971 production style. This older look and feel, and the fashion, just everything in it. Price in particular looked extremely creepy with the kind of makeup that they had on him, which, you know, makes more sense toward the end of the film why he looks like that. But he was just really gross looking. Now, there isn't a whole lot more for me to say about this. This kind of reminds me of when I was going through all of those Hammer films a couple of years ago. Usually it only takes a few minutes to just say, this is what it's about, this is what I liked about it, and that's it, and then we're wrapped up pretty quick. But I do think that this one is an interesting one to check out because of the overall plot, as well as how things are unfolding, the style in which it was shot. It's especially got me interested to see what they're going to do with this sequel, because I haven't seen that one yet either. But yeah, because it was very interesting and definitely worth checking out. And speaking of checking out, thanks for checking out this quick little video here for the Abominable Dr. Phibes, which at the time of this video seems to be between streaming providers. Now it's no longer available anywhere, so be on the lookout for it. It may pop up again. Somehow the sequel, Dr. Phibes Rises Again, is available on Tubi, so at least I'll be able to hop right in and check that one out and see what they do with this character in that next movie. But yeah, we'll see where they take it. Anyways, that's all I have for this one. Thanks for coming by and for sticking around to the end. Be sure to like and subscribe, and if you're watching this on Friday when I post it, I do have another video coming up later on today, so be on the lookout for that, and I will see you in the next one.